Now picture this, you're driving through Miami Beach when you spot a single bridge guarded by police officers with thermal cameras and radar systems that can detect you from half a mile away. Beyond that bridge lies a 300-acre private island where the average home costs $24 million, where Jeff Bezos just dropped $237 million on 3 properties, and where the local police force costs more per resident than most small cities spend on their entire government. Welcome to Indian Creek, Miami's most exclusive address, where billionaires don't just buy homes, they buy anonymity. But here's something most people don't know about this so-called billionaire bunker. Beneath all that wealth and security lies a controversy that's making headlines, threatening property values, and raising questions about whether even the ultra-rich can escape Miami's most basic infrastructure problem. I'm Biscaha, your Miami real estate advisor, and after helping over 100 families navigate Miami's luxury market, I've learned that understanding places like Indian Creek isn't just about satisfying curiosity, it's about understanding how Miami's most exclusive communities set the standard for luxury living throughout the entire Magic City. So today we're going inside the gates to explore what makes this island the ultimate billionaire sanctuary, and more importantly, whether the challenges it faces could signal broader issues for Miami's luxury real estate market. So what is Indian Creek, also known as Billionaire Bunker? Well, let me first start off by saying in my last video, you guys came for me in the comments because I didn't talk about Indian Creek. And there's a reason for that. This island deserves its own video because there is so much more to deep dive on. So let's get into it, because Indian Creek Island is unlike anything else you'll find in Miami. It's officially known as Indian Creek Village, and this fortress in Biscayne Bay sits approximately 15 miles from downtown Miami. The entire 300-acre island was created through dredging work in the early 1900s, and it officially became a municipality in 1939. The strategic location tells you everything about what makes this place special. Positioned perfectly between mainland Miami and North Miami Beach, the island provides complete privacy while keeping you just 12 kilometers from Miami's financial center. You get the best of both worlds here. Total separation from the hustle and bustle of Miami, yet it's convenient and has access to everything that the city has to offer. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and this connects to the infrastructure controversy that I'm going to expose later. The entire island consists of exactly 41 platted waterfront residential home sites. Think about that for a moment. 41 lots total. These aren't your typical Miami Beach lots either. We're talking about properties arranged along the east, south, and the west shores of the island, each with waterfront views and substantial acreage that would make even Coral Gables residents envious. The number alone tells an incredible story. The median sale price hit $24 million back in April 2021, representing a 40.9% increase from the previous year. And let me give you a quick look at some of the home prices, but before we go into detail about that, current home values range from about $6.2 million to over $40 million, with record-breaking transactions pushing those numbers into entirely new territories. What makes Indian Creek truly unique is how it operates as its own private world. The island maintains a 19-officer police force for fewer than 90 residents. The town allocated $4.1 million in 2023 to public safety alone, which represents 74% of the entire budget going to security. The security infrastructure reads something like a spy movie. They've got a high-tech Israeli-designed radar system that can detect anybody approaching from half a mile away. 10 thermal cameras and 17 radar centers are mounted along the island's perimeter, and the officers receive what officials describe as extremely high level of training in areas such as weapons, defense tactics, and tactical operations. At the center of all this sits the Indian Creek Country Club, featuring an 18-hole golf course that wraps around the residential properties. And this isn't just any golf course, it was originally designed by architecture Maurice Fatio in 1929, and it underwent significant restoration in 2022. The Mediterranean-style clubhouse includes everything that you would expect: swimming pool, tennis courts, fitness center, spa, marina, and a luxury restaurant. The island's accessibility is part of its appeal. There's only one way in and one way out, a single guarded bridge that connects to Surfside. A security checkpoint operated by the Indian Creek Village Police monitors this sole entrance, and no commercial traffic is allowed whatsoever. You need express permission from residents or country club members just to step foot on the island. This level of exclusivity has attracted some of the world's most recognizable names: Jeff Bezos has assembled his compound, sprawling 3 properties totaling $237 million. NFL legend Tom Brady purchased a mansion for $17 million, though he plans to demolish it and build something even more spectacular. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner bought a $32 million waterfront lot, and Kushner now serves on the village council. The residence roster reads like a who's who of global wealth billionaires. Carl Icahn, you have Spanish singer Julio Iglesias, and hedge fund manager Eddie Lampert. These aren't just wealthy people looking for a nice place to live, they are individuals who could afford to live anywhere in the world, and they chose this particular 300-acre island in Biscayne Bay. But before we get into the numbers that will seriously surprise you, let's talk about something important. You wouldn't buy a house without doing some research first, right? Well, the same goes for understanding Miami's luxury market, and that's what this channel is here for. I share the kind of insider info that you wouldn't find anywhere else, including updates on Miami's top neighborhoods, what's trending in the market, and deep dives that actually explain what's going on. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Now, let's talk about what it takes to join this exclusive club, because the real estate market on Indian Creek operates unlike anywhere else in Miami. The property values here represent some of the most expensive real estate in North America, but understanding the market requires looking beyond simple price tags. The appreciation trajectory tells an incredible story. In 2019, a $50 million mansion sale set a county record. By 2024, a vacant lot sold here for $105 million. And here's where it gets wild. Lots are currently listed for up to $200 million. The Jeff Bezos effect has catalyzed price appreciation in ways that even seasoned Miami luxury agents find remarkable. Something that most people don't understand about Indian Creek real estate is that off-market transactions are the norm, not the exception. Many deals occur privately without public listings, which maintains the discretion that ultra-wealthy buyers and sellers demand. That $50 million mansion sale in 2019 was described as an off-market deal, just highlighting how common this practice has become in the neighborhood. The types of homes you find here make even Miami Beach's most luxurious properties look modest. Lot sizes range from 1.25 to over 3.5 acres, with waterfront views and hundreds of feet of water frontage. Every property includes private docks capable of accommodating large yachts, because when you're spending $30 million on a home, you're probably not taking the causeway to get around. The amenities are resort level by design. We're talking about wine cellars that would make Napa Valley jealous, home theaters with professional grade equipment, private docks that can handle super yachts like I mentioned, tennis courts, fitness centers, rooftop terraces, and infinity pools that seem to blend into the Biscayne Bay itself. The landscaping alone on these properties often costs more than most people spend on their entire homes. And here's where the market gets really interesting. And this connects to some serious controversies about transparency and ethics that we'll explore in detail. Properties here are typically sold under an LLC for privacy. The $105 million lot sale involved SMM Sunny Holdings LLC. While buyers often use trusts managed by law firms to maintain privacy, this practice here allows ultra-wealthy individuals to shield their identities from public records. This brings me to Mayor Benny Klepich and his family involvement in the real estate market. Klepich serves as mayor of Indian Creek Village and happens to be the founder of 360 Duty Free. It's a global duty-free retail empire that's made him worth an estimated $5.6 billion. His daughter Celine works as a real estate agent and was directly involved in Jeff Bezos' $79 million property purchase. And here's where things get really interesting, because we're about to see how even billionaires have to deal with Miami's everyday problems and the surprising issues that are putting home values on the island at risk. Things get complicated when you look at the Leo Chris lawsuit. Chris, co-founder of a Brazilian company, Tectoy, filed a lawsuit claiming he lost $6 million by not knowing Jeff Bezos was the buyer of his property. The original listing price was $85 million, but it sold for $79 million after Chris purchased it in 2014 for $28 million. The lawsuit alleges that Celine Klepich led Chris to believe that the property was being bought for the Klepich family, while Douglas Elliman's CEO Jay Parker allegedly assured Chris that Bezos was not the buyer. The complaint argues that the property would be more significantly valuable to Bezos than to other potential buyers. This case raises questions about transparency, privacy, and real estate commissions in ultra-luxury transactions, particularly when family connections to local officials are involved. It's the kind of controversy that could impact how buyers and sellers approach similar transactions through Miami's luxury market. Now, let's talk about what daily life looks like when you're living in Miami's most exclusive community, because the amenities here set the standard for luxury living throughout the Magic City. The Indian Creek Country Club operates as the social center of the island, and membership is exclusive to residents only. The reported cost to join is $500,000, which might sound steep until you realize that's probably less than what residents spend on yacht maintenance in the entire year. The country club features an 18-hole golf course designed by William S. Finn that wraps around the residential properties like a perfectly manicured moat. This isn't just about golf though. The club also includes tennis courts, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and full spa services, fine dining that rivals anything in South Beach, and a private marina with yacht facilities that can accommodate vessels most people only see in the movies. The Mediterranean-style clubhouse underwent renovations in 2022 with expanded greens, reshaped bunkers, and regrassed fairways that maintain perfect conditions year-round. The privacy and security here operate on a level that's unlike anywhere else in Miami. We're talking about 24/7 marine and land patrol with 3 high-speed police boats patrolling the island's perimeter. There's no tourist access, no commercial businesses, and certainly no random foot traffic. The level of security has evolved significantly over the years, with one resident noting that the security is very different than how it used to be compared to the 1990s when casual tourists were permitted. This creates a lifestyle that's completely removed from typical Miami living. Residents can walk, bike, or drive around the island without encountering anybody who's not supposed to be there. It's like having a private resort that happens to be your neighborhood, where every amenity is designed around complete privacy and exclusivity. The single controlled entry point means that every person who sets foot on the island has been screened and approved. This level of control extends to everything from deliveries to service providers. Even the most routine activities are managed through the security infrastructure. And this creates an environment where privacy isn't just protected, it's guaranteed. But here's what's really surprising. Even with all the luxury and security, there's a big problem with the island's infrastructure that could affect every home's value, and it comes down to something as simple as the sewage system. Now, if you're enjoying the content and you want to keep up with Miami's luxury market the way Indian Creek residents do, well, you need insider information sent right to your inbox. I'm talking about secret listings, price updates, luxury homes, and market tips that could save you millions or help you find your next big investment. The link to sign up for my local newsletter is in the show description below. Now we get to the part that most people don't know about Indian Creek, and it's something that could impact not just property values on the island, but how we think about infrastructure in Miami's luxury communities. Despite housing some of the world's wealthiest individuals, Indian Creek still relies on aging septic tank systems rather than modern sewer infrastructure. A 2018 analysis found that the majority of the island's septic systems were vulnerable to failure, creating environmental concerns for the surrounding Biscayne Bay ecosystem. Now just think about that for a moment. You're paying $30 million for a waterfront estate, and your waste management system is basically the same technology that's been used in rural Florida for decades. It's not exactly what you'd expect from the Billionaire bunker, right? Well, the environmental implications are serious because septic systems contribute to Biscayne Bay pollution, and there's potential for this system to fail during floods or hurricanes, which we all know can be a real concern in Miami. Regulatory pressure from environmental agencies is increasing, and this isn't the kind of problem that just simply goes away with money. Surfside officials offered to allow Indian Creek to connect to their sewer system, but they demanded a $10 million fee to cover historical infrastructure costs. Indian Creek Village leaders rejected this demand, calling it extortion. The dispute centered on environmental concerns about septic systems contributing to Biscayne Bay pollution, infrastructure costs, and Surfside potential demand for territorial concessions. Now, here's where it gets really interesting from a logistics perspective. The law was quietly embedded within a Florida Department of Transportation bill, allowing Indian Creek to install a pipeline beneath the Surfside streets and connect to Bay Harbor Island's sewage system, essentially bypassing Surfside's $10 million demand entirely. The implications extend beyond just logistics. From an environmental standpoint, there's continued pollution risk to Biscayne Bay, potential for septic system failures during floods, and ongoing regulatory pressure from environmental agencies. But the real estate market impact might be even more significant. Buyers of $30 million homes expect modern infrastructure. The uncertainty around sewage systems could affect property values and buyer perception in ways that even the most exclusive location can't overcome. This could become a factor in future sales or insurance issues, particularly as infrastructure resilience becomes more important. The sewage controversy highlights something crucial about even the most exclusive communities. Money can buy privacy, security, and luxury, but it can't always solve fundamental infrastructure problems. And when these problems exist in a place like Indian Creek, they tend to create ripple effects throughout Miami's luxury market. So after deep diving into everything that makes Indian Creek unique, let's address the question that matters the most. Is it worth it? The advantages here are undeniable. You're getting unmatched privacy and security that's unlike anywhere else in Miami. The island provides the most secure residential environment in the Magic City with a dedicated police force and advanced surveillance systems that would make government facilities jealous. The level of protection and privacy here sets the standard for luxury living throughout South Florida. The community itself carries global recognition that money can't buy. Indian Creek has established itself as the premier destination for billionaires, with total property values estimated at $1 billion. When you own property here, you're not just buying a home, you're buying membership in one of the world's most exclusive clubs. These waterfront mega mansions provide extraordinary amenities that typically exist only in resort destinations. Private docks, extensive acreage, luxury features, and resort-style amenities create a lifestyle that's completely removed from typical urban living. These properties represent the pinnacle of luxury real estate, not just in Miami, but globally. But the disadvantages are real and growing. The aging infrastructure, particularly the septic system controversy, highlights limitations that could affect future property values. When buyers are spending $30 million on a home, they expect modern infrastructure, and the ongoing sewage dispute creates uncertainty that most exclusive locations can't overcome. The disputes with neighboring municipalities create ongoing challenges that could impact the island's autonomy and operations. The disagreements over the sewer connections just demonstrate how even the world's wealthiest communities must navigate complex relationships with surrounding areas. Limited transparency in transactions, as demonstrated by the Bezos lawsuit, raises questions about the market's fairness and ethical practices. When family connections to local officials are involved in major real estate deals, it creates concerns about conflicts of interest that could impact how buyers and sellers approach the market. The market itself is expensive and difficult to access, even for ultra-wealthy individuals. The combination of limited inventory, off-market transactions, and complex dynamics means that even billionaires face challenges when they're trying to buy or sell property here. Despite these challenges, Indian Creek continues to demonstrate strong appreciation. The Jeff Bezos effect has catalyzed further price appreciation, with his presence alone cited as a reason for premium pricing. Property values have increased significantly over the past few years, suggesting that wealthy buyers are willing to pay premium prices for the unique combination of privacy, security, and exclusivity. The investment outlook remains positive, but buyers must weigh the unparalleled privacy and prestige against infrastructure concerns and complex dynamics. Indian Creek represents the ultimate and exclusive luxury living, but even billionaires must navigate challenges in their pursuit of the perfect private sanctuary. For most people, Indian Creek represents an aspirational benchmark rather than a realistic option, but understanding how the most exclusive community operates helps us appreciate the factors that drive luxury real estate throughout all of Miami. The standards set here influence expectations and pricing in communities throughout the Magic City, from Fisher Island to Star Island to the luxury high-rises of Brickell and South Beach. The world of Miami's ultra-luxury real estate is fascinating, complex, and it's constantly evolving. Indian Creek represents the absolute pinnacle of exclusive living, but it's just one piece of Miami's incredible luxury landscape. Whether you're interested in waterfront estates, luxury condominiums, or investment properties throughout the Magic City, understanding how these exclusive communities operate help inform decisions at every price point. The standards set at places like Indian Creek influence luxury living throughout Miami, from the penthouses of Brickell to the estates of Coral Gables. So if you're considering making Miami your home, or if you're just curious about luxury real estate opportunities throughout South Florida, my team and I would love to help you navigate this incredible market. You can email me, joe@joesellsmiami.com, to get started. And after helping over 100 families find their perfect Miami home down here, I've learned that understanding the full spectrum of luxury living, from exclusive islands to vibrant urban neighborhoods, is the key to making the right decision for your lifestyle and your investment goals. And speaking of exclusive communities, next week we're diving into Miami's old money enclaves, where generational wealth has created some of the most established and sophisticated neighborhoods in South Florida. These communities might not have the security luxury infrastructure of Indian Creek, but they provide something equally valuable: the kind of understated elegance and established prestige that money can't buy overnight. You won't want to miss this deep dive into where Miami's most established families have called home for generations. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my deep dives into Miami's exclusive communities. Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.